Can a pill fix cellulite? Let's break this down. I need to show you something. This product claims it can smooth visible dimpling from the inside out with a daily capsule. And to prove it, well, they used an animated body where the cellulite smooths away as if someone in the editing department got a little too eager with the hoped for results. Well, my friends, the obvious question is, if this product works, why are we looking at a cartoon? Can a supplement change the visible dimpled texture on our legs and bum? Or are we looking at a well-designed sales story?
Welcome to the Cellulite site.
Welcome back to the Cellulite site, my friends. I'm Bree Cox Kennedy, and if you are new here, this is where we break down what influences cellulite reduction and what just sounds really good on a label or looks, in this case, really good in an advertisement. I just love and adore my girlfriends and viewers. You're always sending me things to research. I appreciate that. I love it. So keep them coming. Usually with your text, it simply says, thoughts? I have to admit, this one stopped me mid-scroll. Not because of the ingredients, because of the marketing. What are they promising? I mean, what would have to happen biologically for this to work? Now, before anyone thinks that this is about one company, it isn't. I've been doing this long enough. The company isn't the story, the marketing is. So if this particular company disappeared tomorrow, I guarantee you another one would probably run a similar ad next week. It would be a different bottle, it would be different ingredients, but it would be the same promise. And that's the pattern informed consumers like you are starting to notice. So just think about it. We're watching an AI generated woman explain cellulite to us, while her legs magically improve. And I mean, she's cute. It's a great script. It's flawless lighting, probably better than mine. But in about 3 seconds, years of structural change disappears right before our very eyes. So let me show you how the science and the marketing start telling two completely different stories. The ad oversold something that deserves a meaningful conversation, a more serious conversation. Part of me is thinking, why do companies rely on gimmicks like this? And then there's the other half of me that says, okay, but wait. If I could change the architectural structure of cellulite with a capsule, I would release the tethering, I would support the dermis, and I would stop that upward pressure from that fat layer. I would actually not have a cellulite site channel. So let's look at what they are promising. It strengthens skin structure, it improves circulation, it balances hormones, it reduces dimpling in 8 weeks. Some ingredients may support circulation. Some may influence skin quality. Some may even have research suggesting modest improvement in cellulite's appearance. Stay with me and you'll find out more information about that. But all of that is different from changing what's happening beneath the surface level of the skin. The cartoon and the Instagram posts make it sound like These little capsules are addressing every major cause of cellulite. So before you go down the rabbit hole with me, because you know that's where I'm going, I need to say this: it is not even the product claims that bother me the most. It is the way they are being shown to you as the consumer. When I see an AI video where every dimple magically disappears instantaneously, I don't think, wow, that product works. I go the other way. My skeptical brain kicks into high gear and thinks, why are we animating the results if we can photograph them? Why not show skin in real lighting over real time with the results promised in a cartoon? Marketing should explain the intended result, not create an exaggerated expectation, which honestly, friends, feels really misleading. So obviously, real skin texture doesn't behave like that. You don't need me to tell you that. Or maybe we do, because the script is really convincing. But you know, it changes with lighting. It changes with angle. It changes with hydration, with pressure, with 100 other variables. I could do an entire video just on that. You don't need me to tell you it doesn't just melt away evenly either. That's animation magic, not biology. And that is the real issue. They're not showing evidence, they're showing a visual promise. So, if the product created that kind of obvious change, well, you know, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't need to be. But they wouldn't need a manufactured visual to prove it. They'd show you the results. Think about that. Okay, so now, after that tiny rant, I'm going to go into a meditation zone here. Let's look at what this product may realistically be doing. Let's go over all of their claims. The company presents this as a way to address cellulite from the inside out with just 3 capsules daily in 8 weeks. It smooths cellulite, it breaks down cellulite, it balances hormones, it improves circulation, it reduces dimpling in weeks. I mean, miracle. It all sounds great. Who wouldn't want that? But what would have to happen biologically for all of that to be true? So when you peel back the marketing layers, they are taking a highly complex structural issue and reducing it to 3 capsules a day. So here's the reality. If cellulite were caused by a vitamin deficiency, we definitely would have solved it a long time ago. Because cellulite is not just a skin issue. You know by now it's structural, and structural problems rarely have nutritional solutions. So under the surface, for those of my viewers who are new, you've got your fibrous septi bands pulling down, you've got your fat pushing up, the fluid gets trapped, fascia loses its glide, right? So if a capsule were to fix cellulite, naturally, it would need to change that structure underneath the skin in a highly focused and targeted way. So that's the gap that some people may not realize they're being asked to accept. Now, before anyone thinks I'm saying the ingredients in the formula are useless, I want to make it clear I'm not. In fact, the ingredient research is way stronger than I expected. So when I broke down the ingredient panel and went over each and every one by one, I didn't really see a completely random blend. The ingredients included support for circulation, fluid balance, antioxidant activity, skin and connective tissue health. And one ingredient in particular, Dimpless SOD, which is a melon-derived superoxide dismutase, does have cellulite specific research behind it. So here's the plot twist. You probably didn't see this coming. The ingredient research is much more believable than the cartoon. So this is where we need to separate the science from the sales pitch. They are not in congruency. The research discusses visible improvement in how the skin looks. The ad shows cellulite disappearing in a flash. And I know they say over 8 weeks, but still those are not the same outcome. And that, my friends, is where the marketing starts running ahead of the science. Now let's talk about the enzyme language, and I'll try to do this without sounding like a pharmacist reading a label under fluorescent lighting. These are large words here, and you may not be familiar with them. But this blend includes enzyme-based ingredients like serrapeptase, and actually sometimes listed as sericopeptidase and bromelain. Before we all hear, did someone say peptidase? And think it's part of the trendy peptide conversation. I know where your brain just went. Mine kind of perked up too. But this is an enzyme part of the formula. Again, it's not a magic skin rebuilding peptide conversation. Different category altogether. The idea is that enzymes like these may support inflammation response or protein breakdown in the body. Notice the word breakdown. And that may be useful, but it doesn't mean that they selectively break down the fibrous bands that are responsible for cellulite. This is the stretch. Again, this is the language that we need to sit back and pay attention to and just notice. Since you're watching this channel, I can only assume that you're not here for another miracle promise. You're probably here because you're really trying to understand what could influence cellulite reduction long term, not just for a few months here and there. So when a product says it may break down fibrous tissue or boost fat metabolism, or flush trapped fluid, or balance hormones, I don't want you to just hear the pretty encouraging words. The better question is really, what does that mean underneath the skin? What is happening inside your body? And does the mechanism match the proposed outcome? All right, let's move on to their claims. Claim number 1, it boosts fat metabolism. This is the right place to start because it's one of the biggest leaps in the whole post. They say it boosts fat metabolism, and then they explain that as helping your body break down stubborn fat cells that are trapped under your skin. Like the capsules are going to find the dimples, identify the fat cells, and say, hey, you, out. That's not how fat metabolism works. You know that. Fat metabolism is systemic, meaning your body doesn't burn fat from one specific area just because that's the area that you're frustrated with. And cellulite is not simply fat cells trapped under the skin. I already gave you a very brief explanation of the biology. You can lose weight and still have cellulite. You can be thin and still have cellulite. You can be fit and still have cellulite. Cellulite is not just a fat problem. So when I see boosts fat metabolism connected to smooths cellulite, that's when I pause. General metabolic support is one thing, and suggesting that it will selectively break down cellulite-related fat cells under the skin, it's a much bigger leap. If boosting fat metabolism erased cellulite, every woman who has ever lost 10 pounds would have smooth thighs. All right, moving on to claim number 2, reduces water retention. When I look at the formula, I can actually see why they're leaning into this angle. Ingredients like diosmin and butcher's broom are commonly used around venous function, fluid retention, and leg weighted or heaviness. Bromelain is often discussed around inflammation, think pineapple, and swelling. So again, I'm not saying this angle comes out of nowhere, but here's why I pay attention. Again, less puffiness can change how the skin looks. Fluid shifts can make the surface look smooth, appear smooth and tighter temporarily. But again, they are not reconstructing the structure, the scaffolding underneath. So just keep in mind those ingredients do not reorganize fibrous bands. They do not remodel fascia. They do not change the mechanics creating the dimple. So if what they mean is may help with fluid balance and reduce puffiness, okay, fine. That is a reasonable conversation. But if the implication is drains away the problem, that's where we've left biology and entered into marketing overreach. All right, my friends, moving on to claim number 3, strengthens skin structure. Dimpless SOD is the ingredient that deserves the closest look here. The supplier claims go beyond basic skin support. They discuss microcirculation, fat cell hypertrophy, fibrosis, and visible cellulite reduction. So I am by no means dismissing it. That is legitimate ingredient level research. Here's where I still draw the line. Ingredient research does not automatically prove the finished result or product delivers the dramatic animated result being shown in the ad. A capsule may influence some pathways connected to how cellulite looks, and that is still different from showing cellulite disappearing on command. And listen, I am not saying that to be difficult. I really want products to work. I'm rooting for you guys. I am saying it because I am looking out for my girls. All right, claim number 4. It improves circulation. Okay. This one does have some logic behind it. The ingredient lineup includes ginkgo, rosemary, butcher's broom, and diosmin, all commonly associated with circulation, microcirculation, vascular health, or fluid movement. Circulation absolutely matters. But again, let's pay attention to the words. The post says it increases blood flow to problem areas. Think about that. Does that make sense? A capsule works systemically. It circulates through the body. It doesn't look at your thighs and say, oh, that's where she's spiraling. Let's go there. A supplement may play a role in circulation overall. If the goal is increasing circulation to a specific area, well, there's other things we can do. Movement, muscle contraction, heat, mechanical stimulation, for example, are far more direct tools. Circulation may be part of the supplement's logic, but targeted cellular area correction? I don't think those ingredients have a GPS system. Claim number 5, balances hormones. Hormones absolutely influence cellulite. Estrogen, insulin, cortisol, thyroid function, and then fluid regulation on top of everything else. And that can all affect how the body stores fat, holds fluids, and maintains connective tissue. To be fair, the list of ingredients does contain white peony root, which has some research and traditional use around female hormone pathways. So hormones definitely matter, and I'm not going to say there is zero hormone related logic here. But I think you can probably see the slippery slope. So the term quote unquote balances hormones is one of those wellness phrases that sounds really scientific while at the same time meaning almost anything. The question is, are we talking about a clinically diagnosed imbalance? Is it a perimenopause menstrual cycle issue? Is it insulin resistant, stress hormone? Is it a thyroid function? Or are we talking about a marketing phrase with a lightning bolt emoji? Because I'm gonna need more than a lightning bolt emoji. Just saying. I need a mechanism, I need evidence, and I need specifics. Hormones are not a treatment plan. It's an entire endocrine system. A hormone-related ingredient does not make this a hormone-balancing cellulite solution. Claim number 6, reduces dimpling in weeks. This is your classic timeline response. Could someone see visible improvement in 8 weeks? Possibly. So my friends, this is where I've landed. The formulation is more developed than I actually expected. Some ingredients may support circulation, fluid balance, antioxidant activity, skin quality, and even the visible appearance of cellulite. So I'm not going to dismiss the product entirely. I am simply questioning the mismatch between the ingredients and what they can reasonably do, what you can reasonably expect, and what the animation magic makes you believe will be your results. Simple. Think about it. Could a capsule smooth years of complex biology in 8 weeks? I'll tell you what. Why don't we put it to the test and find out? I'll do it in real time because Dimpless SOD is the ingredient that actually caught my attention. So I am going to do a separate deep dive in a video on that next. What I'll do is I'll compare a few different formulas. I'm going to find five formulas, look at the dosage, the supporting ingredients, the cost per day, and whether I think the finished product actually makes sense. And then I will choose one winner. I'm not going to test it as an endorsement. I'm going to test it as an experiment on myself. And of course, you know, I'm going to report back with what I find. I'll end up putting the link to that video in the description of this video because that's the difference I want you to walk away understanding. Ingredient research is one thing. Advertising magic is another. I am always willing to be open and investigate something fairly. But what I'm not open to do is I'm not willing to pretend that an animated visual result is evidence. That, my friends, is really the key point of this entire video. Cellulite is so much more complex than a single product. If one thing fixed it, trust me, I would be shouting at you guys from the mountaintops, and I'd probably be wearing the shortest shorts legally allowed on YouTube because I would be so excited. But what I do have to offer you is a better framework. I've basically turned the scars, the spending, the disappointments, the frustration, the confusion, and yes, all of the empty promises that lined other people's pockets into a framework that helped me better support my body. And as a result, finally see visible improvement over the $14,000 treatment. That's what I put into my Cellulite Circuit Lifestyle Guide. Not perfection, not promises. It's just a smarter way to understand and support your body's needs for healthier skin, better flow, more resilient connective tissue. It does not claim to remove cellulite. So if you've been watching me for a while, you know by now that no single step ever fixes cellulite. It's the right steps done consistently over time, and then you can see the change in your skin and how the underlying tissue responds. So if you are tired of chasing the next miracle product like I was, you'd probably rather understand how cellulite behaves. I encourage you to download the guide in the link below. We are not magic and we are not hype. We are just a smarter way to approach the condition. So my friends, here's where the review shifted. Dimpless is the reason this became a balanced review instead of a takedown. I have to tell you, when I first saw that marketing overreach from an AI-generated cartoon, I seriously watched in disbelief. But then I looked at the ingredient research. Not a miracle, not proof that cellulite melts away on command. The Cellulite site is built around one uncomfortable truth, and that is cellulite is more complex than a single product or movement. If you've got nothing else out of this video, that's what I want you to understand, because you deserve to hear that. Even when it's way less exciting than a cute cartoon. I can't compete with her. She's too cute. But as you've learned, there's a big difference between clinically studied and visually overstated. There's a big difference between an ingredient that may improve how cellulite looks and an ad that makes it look like years of structural change melt away in seconds. Conversations like this are exactly why I'm starting a new 4-part series called The Era of Shrink is Over. Cellulite isn't solved by shrinking, supplementing, or spiraling. And when I say spiraling, what I really mean is punishment mode. We've all done it to ourselves. The mirror, gasp, the long pants in summer, exaggerated, I know. The swimsuit cover-up you never take off, the lighting check, the angle check, the mental negotiation before every pair of shorts. I know you've done it. I know I've done it. This is the cycle I want women out of. So understanding the tissues, the supporting body, and finally stepping out of punishment mode for good. It's not torturing your body with the next device in the clinic. So if you want more videos like this, you know what to do. Empower your journey one video at a time, my beautiful friends. I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for tuning into the Cellulite site. We appreciate you being part of our community, dedicated to exploring and sharing insights on cellulite health. Connecting with confident women like you is what makes this journey so fulfilling. Our mission is to simplify your path to progress and spare you from months of uncertainty. If you're ready to take your journey to the next level, visit thecellulitesite.com to grab your Cellulite Circuit checklist. Embark on your transformative journey today, and in the coming weeks, witness firsthand how these concepts can make a positive impact. Remember, it's not just about absorbing information intellectually, it's about committing to the work and celebrating the results. A quick reminder, the content shared is based on personal experiences and perspectives and is not medical advice.